Friday, October 6th. The game begins with three characters. Luke Green, played by Dallas, is a young medical student interning at a hospital. He tries very hard to help everyone and is considered an all-around good guy, supposedly.
Oh, he's about 5'6", though. He's kind of short.
Right.
He's like me if I had been born with better genetics.
He has a friend, Sam Crenshaw, who's an NPC, who has invited him, as well as his acquaintance Karl Measy, to a party. Karl Measy, and it's Karl with a K, is played by Duck, and he is a med school dropout who looks like Zed from Borderlands and does shitty medical DIY videos on YouTube, which may be slightly illegal. Also, he informed me of this in the first session. Also, he wears aviators, but I think we all forget about those somewhere along the lines of the game. So the three dudes are at this party. It's in a mostly empty house which is waiting for tenants, with only some crappy leftover furniture inside. Despite this, the party goes well, especially when each of the three hook up with some hot chicks. Luke is seduced by a beautiful girl with long black hair and piercing green eyes, Karl by a well-toned brunette with somewhat spiky hair, and Sam by a petite blonde. But after they hook up, neither Karl nor Luke remember much else.
Can I do like a perception check to see how hot this woman was? Because I don't. If I'm getting catfished right now, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
She would be about an 8.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with this.
Noise.
It isn't until the next day, Saturday the 7th, that they wake up. Something isn't quite right. They feel weird and hungry. And they're in the living room of that same house. And bloody footsteps lead to Luke's feet. Bloody footsteps coming from the corpse of their friend, Sam Crenshaw, who is covered in bite marks. Instantly, they feel the craving for blood, but while they resist at first, Karl willingly chooses to feed on Sam's blood, sacrificing some of his precious humanity, though he might not know what he's doing just yet.
In your first turn, you get 2 blood points from there. However, the blood is really disgusting because it is now actually old and drying up.
Is it like, not like gourmet blood, but it's just something, is it like 7-Eleven blood?
It's
quality?
very 7-Eleven blood.
Damn.
They've been robbed, too, both theirs and Sam's pockets being turned out.
Are
So there's
Sam's
absolutely
shoes
nothing.
on?
Does he have any shoes on?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
What type of shoes are they?
Nikes.
Oh shit, we gotta jack those. Alright, so we gotta steal those Nikes.
Alright, we're taking him. He doesn't need him, he's dead.
Exactly.
The only thing they find is a flyer to some sort of convention for those who believe in the supernatural and occult. They remember that someone had a flyer like that at the party, and needing answers, they decide to check it out. Without keys, Luke needs Karl to pick the lock of his own car, and he manages to hotwire the car, and they make a pit stop at Karl's house for some fresh clothes, because Karl is now soaked in blood from his dead friend. After Luke talks his way in and gets a quick hit of weed from one of Karl's roommates, they head off. They get to the hotel with the convention. Most of the people there don't know anything, they're just a bunch of weird posers. But one guy stands out. His name is Arminio Zara. He's a young hunter and a bit overeager, as with the slightest amount of encouragement, he reveals what he is, and also reveals that, hey, vampires are real, and Luke and Karl manage to connect the dots. The hunter tells them that most of the convention stuff is BS, but Luke and Karl manage to convince him that they too are hunters, and so they pump him for information. Information like sunlight, bad, fire, bad, stake through heart, paralyzing, and bad. Luke, being the nice guy that he is, decides they should kill him. He's a hunter, you see, and so he would kill them, so this makes sense. This is the best way to go forward, obviously. He tells Arminio to look behind him. Something weird happens. By emphasizing the word look, he forces Arminio to obey. Dominate discipline discovered. Luke and Karl immediately pounce and drain him dry. Luke manages to hold on to some of his humanity. Karl doesn't. Second time he's lost humanity. First from when he drinks his friend's blood, and second time from killing some guy that they really didn't have to. They decide to rob him and push him down a flight of stairs in the hopes of making it look like a robbery. They hope to make it look like a robbery after draining all his blood. So they mill about the convention for some time, get some vials, very, very important for some reason, and when Luke's chatting with some dudes, he decides that because he's such hot shit, he's going to bare his fangs for just an instant. This is dumb. The guy immediately starts crying vampire, and since these are a bunch of weirdos who believe in this stuff, Some people start following them, wanting to get a glimpse of the real vampires. Karl, wanting to dissuade pursuers, grabs a picture as they walk down the hallway and breaks it in half. I guess showing off his strength or something? Spoiler warning, Karl is a Malkavian. The receptionist notices, starts calling the cop, and realizing that they've done enough damage, Luke and Karl bolt. They return to the house where they woke up, the party house, and decide they have to get rid of the evidence, having left plenty back at the hotel. They nabbed a notebook from Arminio and see that it has 2 a.m. October 8 written on it, which is tomorrow's date. They save that page, then find some gasoline and use the stove to start a fire with the paper, and the gasoline accelerates the fire, and so they run outside before the burning house can, hurt them. But just as they run out the door, they run into a strange old man. A familiar old man.